Hello, Drive Radio fans. Richard Rush here today for the long review, and actually my dad, John Rush, is behind the camera. This is the long review of the 2016 Scion IM. Obviously, you can see this is a hatchback. This is Scion's little model. Scion, we've driven several of these cars lately, or several Scions lately. Absolutely love the brand and kind of what they're doing and what they stand for. We're going to talk a little bit about this car. As this car sits right here, it's $20,000 and some change, and by some change I mean a few $100s. This car starts at, let me make sure I get my facts right, with the 6-speed manual, no options, at $19,225. So you can get it for sub $20,000, and you're getting a really well-equipped vehicle, sacrificing some performance to its competitors, but very well-priced vehicle for under $20,000. So with that being said, let's come around the car. I'll show you the front. We do apologize for the snow. Unfortunately, it's out of our control, so again, bear with us here. As you can see, the front end, really like what they've done with this car. It gives it a nice, aggressive look, in my opinion. Scion is marketing not only this vehicle, but their other vehicles to my generation, which is partly why I tend to do these reviews. The younger generation, a younger couple, maybe a newlyweds, a urban dweller, they call them, the car manufacturers do. So someone who's in the city, this car is perfect. Gives you great capabilities as far as parking. There's only one trim level available on this car, which is a little bit different than what manufacturers are doing. Some manufacturers are really taking the customization ability to heart, and Scion has said, you know what, we're going to give you this car, here it is. I went to Scion's website, packed about as much as you possibly could pack on. That everything from alloy, locking lug nuts, to weather mats, to cargo holders, all of that. And I topped this car out with everything possible at just over $23,000. And that's going to be really, really hard pressed to do, or as far as if you just get options that you do want. A couple other things. Miles per gallon rated for 28 and 37. We've been able to average actually about 33, 34 with a healthy amount of highway and city driving there. The rear hatch, there's some options as far as the spoiler goes here. It is front wheel drive, and actually it gives me a great time to comment. With the amount of snow, and actually Colorado here, we just got 8 inches of snow on the low end, and this car has handled phenomenally well. Had no issues with it. We come up this hill, which we'll show you here in a second during the driving portion, that's relatively steep, and it got up here with no problems at all. So for those of you concerned, oh, well, I need a 4-wheel drive car, you may not for this vehicle right here. So with that being said, let's take a quick drive, get out of this 19-degree weather we have here in Colorado. We'll come back, go through the interior portion, and then we'll give you our opinion of the 2016 Scion IM. All right, fans, we're here for the driving portion. Before we do that, we like to show you a little bit of the interior we're not able to do. Standard features on this car: 7-inch touchscreen, dual climate controls, really great features, power folding mirrors, as well as a heated back window, AC. You don't have any heated seats, obviously, with cloth seats, so something that some of you may or may not want. You do have your power port right here, 120 volt, your auxiliary as your USB connection. One thing I will show you, iPhone 6s Plus right here does not really fit in the cup holders down here, which I know a lot of you do put your phones there. However, where it does fit actually is in this little slide down compartment. You can put it right there. Fits in there very, very nicely, so you can be hands-free completely. It does have Siri Eyes Free on here, so you can talk to your phone for you iPhone users. One downside, as you're looking here, is it's hard to get this phone out once you put it in there, once you are in gear and parked. So you kind of have to move it around, move it over just a little bit to open it up. But as we get ready to drive here, again, nice touchscreen, the same Toyota-based system that we've seen from Scion, obviously, since they are kind of the child company, you could say. Backup camera, do not have any dynamic grid lines, but you do have grid lines here, and I'm not going to get too far in this snowpack here, but you can see as you're backing up, they don't move with the steering wheel, but again, you do have a rear view camera on a $20,000 car. So with that being said, let's take a quick drive. This does have a 1.8 cylinder, or 1.84 cylinder, excuse me, 137 roughly horsepower engine. You're going to see a lot of reviews, a lot of people comment about the underpowered capabilities of this car. Would we say that? Probably yes, especially up here in our altitude. We would love to see it with a little bit more horsepower. However, you got to factor in that you've got a $20,000 car here, sub $20,000 car. So for a city dweller, you're not doing a whole lot of highway driving, fast accelerating, this may be the car for you. As you're driving, you can see we're in a very rutted road because of all the snow that's happening right here. It's a relatively quiet cabin, again, for $20,000. Very quiet cabin. It's the riding qualities as far as going over bumps and stuff really does feel easy to use, and it really doesn't jar you too much. My dad actually commented, he's obviously a little bit older than I am, and you don't have, he commented that normally on a car like this, you're going to feel every rut in the road. You don't necessarily feel with that. Now, it's not a Lexus driving down the road in terms of softness and driving over bumps, not feeling anything, but you got to keep that in mind for $20,000. Relatively good ride. Does not have the sporty drive feel to it that some of its competitors does. However, with this CVT transmission, it does have a special sport mode in it that gives you the capability of having those different shift points. So it actually feels like there's some shift points to it, even though the CVT transmission obviously is not actually shifting. As we kind of wind down here, we did comment on this, and I'll mention it later. This car handles exceptionally well in the snow. You can see we have very well snow-packed roads here in Colorado. Going up hills, this car works fantastic. Absolutely a breeze to drive. Honestly, I have no complaints in regards to this car and its driving qualities at all, with that being said. So really do like this car. Scion, 2 thumbs up from us as far as the interior driving portion of it goes. Would like to see a little bit more power, but we'll talk about that in the opinion portion, and we'll come back, go through the interior and the cargo, and then give you our opinion. 2016 Scion IM. All right, fans, one thing we did want to show you as we kind of wrap up our driving portion is going through this little snow pile. So again, that's about 7 inches of snow here. I'm just going to go right through it. Nothing at all. A little bit of slippage on the back wheels when you're moving through, but that's about it. Something to keep in mind is if you are thinking about this car for your child or a first-time car buyer, you do get 2 years free initial scheduled maintenance, which is a big factor in determining this car. Someone may use it. You don't have to worry about maintenance on this car for 2 years. It's all at the expense of Scion and Toyota. That's the last thing we'll mention. $20,000. It does have the Scion badging, but you're going to get the Toyota quality with it. All right, fans, hopefully you enjoyed the driving portion. We try and get you to experience that yourselves. One thing I will add really quick. If there's ever inclement weather like this in your area, whether it's heavy rain or snow or whatever it might be, you know, that's actually a pretty good time to go test drive a car out, because you can actually experience what the car's like in inclement weather, and then you can get an idea of what it's going to actually feel like when it's really nice and sunny out. So with that being said, we're here on the hatchback. One thing about this car compared to its competitors, absolute fantastic trunk space, which will show you right here. No automatic trunk, nothing like that, just a handy little button. One thing I will point out right here is you can see the rear view camera, which is a really nice feature. It's becoming standard on all vehicles here in the next several years. Very wide trunk. We backed up. This is one of our best features. You can get a lot of groceries, a lot of different cargo in this back area. You've got a great little privacy screen right here. Again, that comes standard, lifts up when you lift up the hatchback here. Really some very nice standard features. Again, some cargo hooks right there. Really do love this, and it's also a great height. I will comment on that. We don't comment on that at all, or sometimes. You've got the ability right here to again, lock in some more stuff. You can't fold the seats down from back here. So something that you've got to note. So you do, actually, I'll show you real quick since we're right here. I'll actually go over to this side, show you what these seats look like folded down. All you do, if you can see, is pull up right here on this handlebar, move down. We have moved this seat all the way back, so that's something to note. We do this on purpose. This seat is moved all the way back, and you can see it doesn't go forward. So if you wanted to do that forward, you would have to move that front seat forward. But you can see if you did do that, they do lay all the way flat. And you know what? I'll do that really quick, actually. So it's not absolutely completely flat, but if you wanted to put some skis or a snowboard, some golf bags in there, you and a buddy, this would be great. Or again, if we mentioned in the opening, urban dweller, young couple, you would definitely have the capability of doing that. So let me shut this, and actually let's come to this other side real quick. And actually, we'll come back to this other side. The lighting's just a little bit better over here. So open this up. I am going to, we're doing this on the fly, move this seat back, about where it was before, to a healthy distance. I'm gonna climb in. The driver's seat is set for myself and my dad. We're about 5'9", 5'10", so you can see they're about the same length. And again, back here, I don't have a lot of room, And that is one of the cons on this car, is there's not a whole lot of room for backseat passengers, not a ton of very nice apportionment. However, again, for $20,000, I'm able to sit here very, very easily. There's no vents or anything like that, a little bit of storage. You have some kind of, not leather, but some soft touch cloth right in here. Really, really nice. One thing I will point out, which you don't see in a lot of cars, this is a spot for a water bottle. Not necessarily, it says not an open container because it's going to spill, but a water bottle that you can fit there, which is really, really nice. And you do also, Dad, I'm not sure if you can get this, you do have 2 cup holders right here in the center console. Something that, again, just a nice little feature, nothing major. Cloth seats, but again, for the price point, hard to beat. As you slide out of the car, relatively simple. Ladies, you don't have to worry too much about that. It's not too sharp of an angle. So with that, I'll actually meet you in the front seat and we'll go over that. All right, fans, we're here for the front seat portion. Want to go over a few features. Again, cloth seats right here. These seats are really nice and sporty. Do hold you in relatively well for the maybe small turns and aggressive driving you may do when available. As you can see, the door panel, again, very, very limited soft touch features on the door. A little bit of cloth right there. You do have a nice grab handle just in case you need it. As we get into the cab right here, you have some nice two-tone functionality. Again, the water bottle holder right there. Two-tone functionality. This is a soft touch right here. This is a hard plasticky feel, but really just a nice subtle feature that they've done here. Does have standard dual climate control right here. Standard 7-inch touchscreen display, which we showed you some of that in the driving portion. One thing I will note that most people won't even care about, this side is a hard plastic for the passenger. This side is a soft, leathery feel to it for the driver. So for those of you who set your knee up or leg up right there when you're driving, a great little feature for you. It does have side mirrors that are heated, as well as power folding mirrors. So great features. All of your steering controls on the front end, really, really nice. We mentioned the driving portion, the CVT transmission, which is becoming more and more common now, especially for fuel economy. It does give you a sport mode. You do have 2 cup holders right here and a very small center console, but you have the ability of storing something right there. And when you put it down, putting, again, a few more options there in the middle. Not a whole lot to do, but it's the option. So not a whole lot else to talk about. With that being said, I'll actually hop out and give you our opinion of the 2016 Scion IM. All right, fans, here's our opinion portion of the 2016 Scion IM. A great little car. Love what Scion has done. It's a relatively nice interior, again, for the price point. Some great, nice, soft touch features on the inside as necessary. A great the hands-free system really is easy to use. The touch screen, great technology apportionments on there. Great cargo capacity. It's a very small, compact car. What are the downsides? The performance isn't where some of its competitors are, so you're going to kind of have to be the judge. If you need that extra performance, you probably should look at a different little car. Again, 137 horsepower, so in this car, not really going to get it up there as far as performance and acceleration goes there. But at the same time, look at the price point. $20,000 or even under $20,000 if you get the manual transmission. That's going to be very, very hard to beat for a young couple, a city dweller, maybe even a first-time driver for a new car. You're going to be really hard-pressed to beat this vehicle in terms of cargo room, interior furnishings, as well as fuel economy, which, again, for some of you who are maybe city dwellers, or instead of wanting to spend money on a hybrid, something like that, you can feature this car built on the Corolla platform. Really some nice features there. So if you want to learn more about the Scion IM, head to Scion's website, check that out. Also head to your local Scion dealer, test drive this, and if you do that, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.